Your Excellency, Bishop Burbridge, a lot of matters occur in government, and the decision of the city of Alexandria to declare a holiday in honor of David Gunn certainly slipped past my notice. And I wish to thank you and the Archdiocese and the many parishes for your commendable work in compelling Mayor Justin Wilson to withdraw the proclamation for Abortion Provider Appreciation Day from the agenda for the City Council. Again, like in the appointment of Alexandria activist Gail Gordon Donegan to the Virginia Council of Women by former Governor Ralph Northam, it was the Roman Catholic Church, consistent with what James Madison in Federalist 51 had contemplated as the role of the religious sects in an extra republic to curb the appetite of encroaching government. The voice of conscience was heard in the province of politics, and as John Adams had expressed, our Constitution was made for a religious and moral people, wholly inadequate to the government of any other. As in any death, the tragedy that befell Dr. Gunn was wrong, and as is often the case in politics, waving a bloody shirt has force in promoting legislation, as was the case in that instance with the passage of the FACE Act, which since its passage has been used as a bludgeon against persons engaged in sidewalk counseling. However, as a product of the compromise of politics, conservative legislators inserted a provision that has also protected a parishioner's access to places of worship, affording to them the same legal force should at any time a person of faith might be fined, persecuted through any other person's effort to prevent their free exercise of religion, a right actually articulated in the First Amendment. According to NARAL, as I had expressed to Mayor Wilson and the members of the City Council, particularly with regard to civil remedies available under the FACE Act, the pro-abortion lobby has enjoyed a 100% success rate, largely because that is what attorneys describe as strict liability as an offense, just like the statutory rape, recognizing no affirmative defense. However, not until the government response to the current public health crisis had any person of faith used that provision of law in a civil suit, when, after Facebook had decided to delete problematic accounts, mine was deleted 4 days after the announcement by White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. And so we filed in the federal district court in Richmond, but found the court reluctant to consider the matter, even in a hearing for a temporary restraining order, effectively foreclosing my opportunity to participate in online worship via the Facebook platform in a pandemic in which the governor had repeatedly asserted were hotbeds of infection. Even after he had been forced to concede he had overextended his authority regarding restrictions on places of worship by the Supreme Court, in the case brought by the Roman Catholic Diocese of Brooklyn and the Agudath Israel Synagogue, finding again the Roman Catholic Church, the largest faith denomination, at the forefront of defending religious liberty. And like the pro-life advocacy engaging in sidewalk counseling, or standing outside the Supreme Court, or marching in the March for Life, activities at which I am always glad to see Father Tom Ferguson, it is far easier to promote traditional Christian values as a group than as an individual. The reason why we stand outside the courts during oral argument. So perhaps it should not be surprising that when my application was elevated all the way to the Supreme Court, even a conservative majority was no guarantee for prevailing. But a surprising decision was yet made by Justice Alito, a fellow Jersey native, when he declined to join the decision to deny certiorari to render a prejudgment decision while the matter remains on appeal at the Fourth Circuit. It's not a total loss, as even in the Fourth Circuit should decide to affirm dismissal rendered by the district court, we still have a second shot to petition for certiorari on the full case. But for now, the question as to whether an abortion activist has more rights than a person attending worship in free exercise of his or her religion is a matter that remains undecided and unsettled. And like I brought the first and longest surviving challenge against the lockdown that closed Christ Church, and the first and longest surviving challenge against the non-medical grade facial covering mandates that, in direct abnegation of the DACA case, DHS v. Board of Regents for the University of San Francisco, mandated the wearing of substitutes for medical grade protection that the NIOS states a decade ago had determined with the same diagnostic equipment that is used to rate the N95 would be wholly ineffective in a respiratory tract infection pandemic. And no study to date has refuted that scientific determination, while a claim of evolving science fails to pass constitutional muster. I'll take this back to the Supreme Court, as necessary, alone or in a group, because as the former governor said last September, we need to think hard about what we want people to say about us in our obituary, and all Christians should be concerned most about what God will say in final judgment. Major Mike Webb, you can't save the world if you are never born.
This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.